Good evening, morning, whatever time it is for y'all in whatever place where you guys are. But yeah, so I'm Timmy or Fat X, whatever you guys want to call me. This is the soft launch to my actual NASCAR stuff on this channel, so I'm looking forward to getting started. You guys might get tired of me, but let's go. We're gonna be doing a recap of the 2024 season. We're gonna talk about some of the playoff guys. We're gonna talk about some of our favorites and least favorite races of the year. And I'd like to introduce tonight's crew. So who wants to get started?
Go alphabetically. Deanna, you're first.
Okay. Hello, guys. I'm a Hammond fan, and I've been a Hammond fan for almost 15 years.
So it's a sad life, huh?
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
And I'm Matt, or Deanna, whichever one. I'm a Chase Elliott fan. I have been for as long as he's been racing, so what, 8 years now? Here
Also
to
a sad
complain
life.
about the playoffs.
Hey, if you're going to talk about sadness, I got y'all beat. I'm Pendray, and I'm a Michael McDowell fan, and I've been a McDowell fan since the end of the 2016 season. So, I mean, I guess I can say that we're leaving Front Row Motorsports just in time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Speaking of that, instead of jumping right into the drivers, do we actually want to bring out our thoughts against the lawsuit and stuff like that, or our thoughts on it?
Do we really want to be called in by NASCAR for actions detrimental?
I feel like Hamlin fan would love to talk to Denny on that podcast.
Oh gosh, I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking.
You need to bring in the shirt.
Yeah. Where's that? Oh, here it is. So this is all coming up Hammond. This is all coming up Hendrick. Here we go. Here's the Denny shirt, the infamous Denny shirt. There it is.
Oh, that's a classic. I'm gonna
Denny shirt.
zoom in on that.
Yeah.
That is glorious. All right.
But yeah, this is. I don't know what Denny was. I don't know what they were thinking. They're probably getting cheered on by the other teams. Like, yeah, you're doing this for us, but they already signed the contract, so.
Yeah, that's true.
We're just waiting on NASCAR to announce the BJ McLeod charter.
Yeah.
Give MBM some charters.
That would bring
boys.
justice to all.
Rod C.
Yeah, they're
Racing.
They're like, hey, MBM, Amerivet, BJ McLeod, all you guys, you need a starting park. We'll give you charters.
Hey, Michael Waltrip, want to come back for a bit?
Oh no, I don't think Mikey's interested.
Bring back Spingate.
Bring back Dan Marino.
Dan Marino, yeah.
It's like after Martinsville a few weeks ago. It's like, hey, Michael, show him how it's done. And Jeff Gordon has been added to the chase.
Gordon has been added to the championship for as the 5th driver.
Yeah.
No, don't forget they're adding Ryan Newman as well.
It would have been more legitimate. Would have been more legitimate than Logano winning, but hey, where are we at?
No, we're gonna talk about that, aren't we?
Yeah, we gotta talk about it. We got to.
Oh yeah. So let's go.
So what does that mean? We should start like with the playoff drivers in order. So we should start with who's 15th then.
Yeah. So Harrison Burton does not exist in this simulation.
Exactly.
Burton, he did literally nothing in the playoffs.
Why was Blood even here?
Neither does Dylan as well.
So
he didn't make the war.
I will say.
Yeah, but he technically made it for like 5 days, 6 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
I feel like the storyline of Harrison getting that first win in Wood Brothers' 100th win was such an incredible story that got destroyed by the fact that he got a playoff berth out of it.
Also, the fact that Lee Diffie wouldn't shut up and let Jeff call his son home.
Yeah, I mean, by saying Jeff, your boy has done it was honestly, I liked that moment. But now that you mentioned that, Pendray, I do agree with that.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought that was a classy moment for Lee saying, Jeff, your little boy has done it, but it still would have been cool to see Jeff himself get to call his son home. So
I think it would have gone something like this. Yeah, you're right.
It reminds me of the I want to say it was 2020. I think it was Vegas or Kansas or something like that in the Xfinity Series, where Rick Allen had a stroke on air. Where it was like,
oh yeah,
Sieg is changing now. Sieg in second now. And then every time I saw this meme right around the time that it happened, where it was Samuel Jackson was like, "English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with that,
I tell you, Rick Allen, I don't know if he would make it as an actor in a Quentin Tarantino film. I don't think he would.
I don't think he likes feet.
Paul
Tracy would. Paul Tracy would, actually.
Paul Tracy would, yes, he would.
Rick Allen would be a good actor in The Phantom Menace.
The Queen.
Y'all remember
wishes
Paul
it.
Tracy's foot fetish?
Queen Amidala, voiced by Rick Allen.
The Queen is hiding.
The Queen is hiding. Wait! It's a NASCAR podcast. Look at me like spoiling the plot of Star Wars. Oh, didn't the Phantom
And
Menace come out like
when Darth Maul
20 years
spins
ago?
to kill Qui-Gon, aggressive goes around.
The person goes down.
The grizzly goes down. He's in half. The car is split in half.
Darth Maul reminds me of Tony Stewart, and I don't know why.
Wait, does that mean Qui-Gon Jinn is like Roman Grosjean?
Danny Hamlin is Count Dooku, and I will let my
No, Count Dooku is too verbose to be Denny Hamlin.
Oh boy, so that brings us to Ty Gibbs in the number 15 spot. What do we think about him? I thought he was going to get that first career win this year. I really did.
I thought,
Yeah.
So did
Yeah,
I. I
me
thought
too.
he was gonna.
Atlanta,
I thought he was gonna get
for
it
sure he
done.
was gonna win Atlanta. Honestly,
He did have a really solid run at Darlington though the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
He finished second behind Keselowski, I believe.
yeah, that was the race. One of the ones I went to. He led some early, and then he basically just got loose, hit the wall, let Larson get the lead, and then somehow found his way back up there at the end.
Oh yeah.
I think the spring Bristol race as well, if the cautions fell in a little bit differently and there was not that long final run, he would have had a chance at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, his thing was he's too inexperienced to save tires the same way that Hamlin and Truex did. That's what gave him the advantage there.
That is true. That Bristol race was such a fun race.
We're gonna get to that later, don't worry.
Oh, I agree with
Oh
you
yeah,
there.
that's yeah.
So that brings us to Chase Briscoe.
Good story.
Him winning at Darlington after that heartbreaking Darlington win in the Xfinity Series a few years ago, that brought me to tears.
Yeah.
Seeing that,
Yeah.
seeing how his family grew after that is just so sweet.
Yeah, that was really cool. And the fact that he beat Kyle Busch again to do it too, it was just a perfect moment for him.
But that race was the first time I have ever rooted for Kyle Busch in my life. I've hated that man with all of my guts for so long.
It's what happens when you leave Toyota, you know.
Yeah.
The hatred just flows out.
Yeah.
Same with Tom Brady and the Patriots. I found myself rooting a little more for Tom Brady after he left the Patriots.
You can't go that way through the McDonald's drive-thru.
I still don't like the Patriots, though.
Oh, screw the Patriots. I'm a Washington fan.
Look, no, the Chiefs are the Patriots now.
No, but Buffalo beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally.
Circle them wagons, boys.
That brings us to Brad Keselowski. My apologies.
I was really disappointed. I thought, maybe I was a bit unhinged as a Brad fan, but I had Brad in my championship 4, and his round of 16 was just awful.
I thought Brad was going to make the round of 8 with Talladega.
I had him going to the round of 12, and I don't even know what happened to get him knocked out in the first round.
Slow.
Yeah, I had him in a round of 12 as well. And I think Brad's showing his age. His win definitely shows he still has it, but he's no longer the 3 wins a year guy.
Well, that's
I think
Roush after the Ricky Stenhouse era.
He's done a good job at rebuilding Roush though into RFK.
Yeah.
He's really good with that, but I think
they've won a race every year since he's been there. You know, so
that's true.
I think he'll be better once he goes to the ownership only role. I think RFK will be a powerhouse then.
Now we got to talk about
turnaround for Roush Fenway.
And Daniel Suarez, the wrong Trackhouse car made it to the playoffs this year, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprising.
I mean, I think he did better than most people expected.
Oh,
you know, because a lot of people after last year were down on Daniel Suarez, and I think his stock went up a bit.
Oh yeah, I agree with that one.
That Atlanta win saved his ass so much.
Like Buko said, he just saved his seat with that one.
Yeah.
It's not burning under there anymore.
I'm gonna quote. I don't know who it was. It was either Bonchoy or Harv said it on the VC in the championship race. He was saying, "Austin Cindric, why do you still have a ride?" Penske being running first, second, 17th.
To be fair, there
It's
was
been
like when he won Gateway, there was that feeling that he's gonna be the third championship for Penske in a row.
Yeah,
But
not to mention, this was his most consistent season by far in terms of like doing well.
I thought,
But the Gateway
he was-
win did fall into his lap because his
Yeah.
teammate didn't know how to calculate
Yeah.
fuel.
Like, I thought that he was better this year than he had been for the last couple of years, but he still just doesn't even hold a candle to Blaney or Logano.
Yeah. And in his final
And
season,
the Gateway win was just a complete fluke.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he was like the second best car all day, but then he was the second best. He didn't deserve to win.
Yeah.
And in his farewell season, Martin Truex Jr. goes winless and finishes 10th in the points.
Well,
he did at least get a couple poles, which is respectable.
Yeah.
He went out with 2 poles, but I gotta say, I think Martin Truex Jr. lost the darn war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely did.
After that Richmond race in the spring, I just could tell there was a difference in him. He just stopped caring.
It was after Sonoma for me when he ran out of fuel on the last lap.
Yeah.
And he
Hey,
and
the
crowd
I
was
gotta
like cheering him on to get across the line.
I gotta appreciate that though. I gotta appreciate Martin Truex Jr. running out of fuel there because that also helped McDowell to complete the 1st through 43rd challenge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that was McDowell. The last thing he needed was a 2nd place finish, and he got it right there.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Wasn't Bowman the first one to do that? First through 43rd?
Yeah, I think Bowman did do that.
Yeah, Bowman did do it.
I think Bowman was the most recent one to do it.
I mean, I'm sure the likes of Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. had all done it. Like,
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe even Logano or Keselowski as well.
Harvick might have done it. Yeah, you might imagine. Alex Bowman, who finished 9th in the points.
People need to stop talking.
Should have made the round of 8.
He should have. People need to stop talking about, oh, he's the 4th Hendrick driver. People need to stop talking about that.
Right, he's still a Hendrick driver.
I mean, he's
there's
the 4th Hendrick driver, but he's still
there are
a
2
Hendrick
people.
driver, you know?
There's some people that are not going to like what I'm saying, right? But he was a top 10 driver all year long.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be ridiculous to refute that.
There's nothing that
I think
tell me that Bowman is not good. He might be lagging behind some weeks, but every week there's going to be a bad Hendrick car. It happens every week.
I think the only knock against Bowman that I would have is that he really didn't lead that many laps this year.
Yeah, because Larson led them all.
Yeah, well, Larson led a lot. Byron led some. Although I would say there are certain parts of the year where it felt like that 48 car was stronger than the 9 car.
Oh yeah,
there were.
There were certain parts of the year where the 9 was blowing the 48's doors off, but there were certain parts of the year where it was nearly reversed.
Right. Well, and Bowman was even better than Byron in some parts of the year because Byron after the first 3 months. Carry on.
Yeah.
And Byron went completely missing from like May all the way until the playoffs.
Yeah. Bowman's kind of like Perez before last year.
I
agree.
He had to compete with Verstappen or in this case the entire team, but he did well. He even beat him at some time.
Right.
Yeah.
Hamlin fan, now you get to steal the spotlight with do the thing.
Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin got 3 wins, 12 top 5.
It still was not Denny's year.
Yeah. He's kind of getting into the Keselowski part of his career where he just wins twice or 3 times and then does nothing the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I will say though, he started off the year on a really hot streak. He led a lap in every race.
Every race except Talladega. No, actually, he led at Talladega. Yeah, it was Darlington.
Wow.
Yeah, but then after like Nashville or so, it was like the team lost their edge a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna
They
be
really
talking.
didn't
I think it's
that much,
I think it's the Dylan crash that basically made everything worse.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he did have a good run at Richmond, but then first round of the playoffs, remember Atlanta where he
Oh yeah,
ran,
he
like,
tried the
dead
strategy
last all
of
day.
He tried a strategy of doing nothing, and then he did nothing, and then that
Wrecked on the
failed,
way.
and then he tried
Then
to
he
do.
wrecked on the last lap.
Then he and he wrecked on the last time, and then next race he wrecked on the first lap, and wrecked again.
but somehow, some way he made it.
Somehow, some way, he made a good finish out of Bristol.
Bristol
Which we'll get to later.
Bristol. That brings us to Chase Elliott, who, if this was 2003, he would have his Matt Kenseth year, but this isn't 2003, so he's 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the win at
I
Texas.
think,
Did nothing else all year other than a couple top 5 runs here and there.
I think that the 9 team just struggled all year with finding race winning speed. Like they would always be like around like 8th or 7th or so, but they just couldn't
They're always
climb
in
up
the
more
5th
than
to 10th
that.
range, but Alan Gustafson is a silly goofer.
Oh, we're not.
We'll say,
No,
though, that
we're not going to talk about bad crew chiefs yet. We're not going to talk about bad crew chiefs yet.
I will say though, in the round of 8, Chase did find another gear. That whole 9 team did.
Oh yeah.
They could have, in theory, won Homestead and Martinsville, but it just wasn't to be in the end.
Well, if that random flip at Vegas didn't happen, then we'd be blowing a different horn right now.
Possibly, yeah, because they did have some pretty good speed there too.
Yeah,
I think it was a good bounce back year. He was up in like 2nd after the pit strategy went through, and then the wreck happened.
Oh yeah.
You know what?
I think it was a what?
I think it's about time for us to get into the controversy.
Kyle Larson,
the man who arguably also would be champion.
Yeah,
because if you take everything that happened the way it was, and all you change, like up until Martinsville, right? All you change is Kyle Larson starting the Coke 600. He would just be in
the championship.
Yeah,
he's in the championship.
So we're blaming rain in Indianapolis for Joey.
I would say, yeah, Kyle Larson should be the champion, but Indianapolis had rain.
That one storm system that moved from Indianapolis through to Charlotte ruined Kyle Larson's season.
Absolutely.
Yep.
What's this say here? He might try the double again next year.
Yeah,
he will try it, and let's hope he gets clear skies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally and figuratively.
Because there's no way he gets a waiver again.
Larson is who I nominate for the best driver of the year last year.
Oh, absolutely agreed.
Yeah.
He was clearly the fastest guy. He won 6 races, led the most laps of anyone. He was just insanely unlucky, though.
Well, I don't know if some of it was luck, because, I mean, if we look at Homestead, that was him overcooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of it was on him, too, but, like, the stuff with Charlotte, I mean, you can't blame that on him. Late race cautions not falling his way sometimes. Mm-hmm. But there were times where he did overdrive it. I'll agree to that for sure.
Yeah, but that's just the way things shake out sometimes, which sucks.
But
talking about things not shaking out the way they should have for some people, Christopher Bell.
No boy.
Now, I stand by the fact that Christopher Bell shouldn't have been in the championship 4, but I don't think Byron should have been in either. I don't think the wall ride should have been the disqualification.
Right.
I think going off of precedent, the race manipulation should have thrown the 24 and the 20 out, and Larson should have been in either way.
No, it should have been Jeff Gordon.
Yeah. It should have been anybody.
It should have been Elliott.
But like realistically, then you're like, well, everyone else in the round of 8 was also a team that benefited from cheating. So who are we going back to?
Yeah.
Just give Carson
Gonna put in freaking. Austin Cindric.
No, Carson
They're gonna
Hocevar.
Yeah.
Carson Hocevar, known for never cheating at all, ever.
Self-spin.
Self-spin goat.
He ran over a banana in Mario Kart.
We get into the championship.
Now, Bell, I want to say this, right?
Bell, okay.
I feel like this is actually better than his 22 season. This season was.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
He clutched up in 20.
I'd say this was his best season, honestly.
He clutched up real hard in 22 and some last year. And I think that overall the performance was better on his end. Like,
there's so much more speed in that 20 car this year, I've noticed.
Yes.
Yeah, especially from like that stretch from Charlotte all the way up until Martinsville. They had consistent speed that whole time, I thought.
Can we talk about New Hampshire? How that's been Christopher Bell's playground for the past 5 years?
Yeah,
like,
it's like they give him an F1 car there.
he is the king of New Hampshire, the way Kevin Harvick used to be the king of Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like Jimmy Johnson at Dover.
I will always pick Christopher Bell to win Phoenix from here until New Hampshire, from here until he retires.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah.
That's a lock every year. And that brings us to our championship 4. But before we do that, did we want to bring up any honorable mentions? I know Barry wants to talk about McDowell.
No. I know I'm biased.
For another good season.
Bubba, great season. You know, arguably he should have been in the playoffs over several people.
Chastain is who I would nominate. He honestly, I think, had a pretty underrated year.
Yeah, he did
Especially
win there.
I thought,
whichever race that was.
I thought
round 2.
It was Kansas.
Yeah.
Considering, I mean, I thought Trackhouse was just slower in general this year, and he still did pretty good in speed wise most weeks, and it's a testament to what kind of driver he is. I feel like.
Even though he's,
I'm obviously going to be biased about this, but I have to shout out my boy Michael McDowell for having the most poles on the season.
Really?
6 overall and 5 of the 6 Super Speedway poles.
How did I not realize that? That is awesome.
Like, and the closest driver is Larson, who's the only one with 5, but one of Larson's poles is due to qualifying getting rained out. So McDowell's pole advantage is actually 2 poles.
Wow.
Like, in a front row car, he got the most poles.
Who saw that coming?
Yeah, especially because he had no poles prior to this. But he just decided to just say, listen, I'm going to show you what it's like to qualify. And he qualified first for 1/6 of the entire season.
That is incredible. And we do have to talk about Kyle Busch. He should have stuck around with Gibbs.
Yeah.
Even taking the pay cut.
I hope Rexon has a good career.
I think I'm starting to just think that Kyle Busch is kind of washing up in general, though.
Yeah, like Kansas, he had such a shot at that, and he just threw it.
Yeah, that was his best shot to win.
Same
all
as
year,
Daytona,
apart
too.
from Daytona.
If Parker Retzlaff
was a good teammate.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to talk about Daytona too. I don't want to talk about that race.
Other than the Josh Berry flip.
Maybe that. But...
Speaking of flips, we've had a lot of random flips this year.
Yeah.
Story of the Joy at Michigan.
Kyle C being the most. I think Kyle C takes it.
Oh yeah, because that was when they were. They were only going like 170 in that race too, and he still flipped.
And also a roof flap malfunction as well.
Yeah.
Guys, Kyle Sieg is good now. Never mind.
Nah.
We do got to talk about our championship 4. We had Tyler Reddick, who overall had a great year, regular season champion.
Great season except for one race, and that's basically what matters now.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Darlington. Let's talk about Southern 500, where he stuck it out despite crapping himself and peeing on himself and throwing up
That
on
was
himself.
that was the sickness race where I made you lose your mind, Pendray. I was making the vomit noises.
Yeah, I'm eating right
Yeah.
now, so if you could not,
I will not do that. I won't do that to you this time.
okay, yeah,
But
I was
Like,
going
he-
to say, though, that Reddick has had a 2011 Carl Edwards type year, I feel like.
that I agree with.
Mhm.
'Cause he was really consistent all year, and he won more than Edwards did, but in the end, he ended up being in the conversation for being the best driver, but just couldn't close it out at Phoenix. Lights were brighter than expected for him.
That brings us to William Byron, who reminds me of a reverse version of Tony Stewart. He wins really, really early and then does nothing else the rest of the year. Talking about
I think
2011.
That was
I
his
think the
entire
24
year this
car.
year.
I think the 24 car, because it had such a strong start, it was the second best Hendrick car, but I don't think it really is clear of the 48 or the 9 by that much.
That's true.
I wouldn't even say. I don't really think that it's. I don't think the gap between the 24 and the 9 was that big, honestly, just because of how
Of an
invisible
overall
Byron
season
was
as a unit.
in the overall season, apart from his strong start.
Right. That's
I did think the 9 team had some pretty good moments too.
absolutely. Just so many top fives were the weeks that it looks like the Nines got that car. Oh shoot, someone else has got that car too.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I was done with Bowman as well, because how many times does Bowman look like he's got a 12th place car, and he manages to finish 6th through 8th over and over, like when Chase Elliott's finishing 5th, you know? And where's Byron? He's got a better car, and he's finishing 10th, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Then Larson's either winning or in the fence.
yeah.
yeah.
That brings us to the Penske duo. We got Ryan Blaney, who really, I say he had a really sleeper year. He defended his championship really well.
Yeah, I think Blaney. I talked about this with Chastain earlier, but he was also really underrated throughout the whole year because I thought Penske for most of the year until the playoffs obviously was pretty slow, but they weren't as quick as they had been in the past. But
think about Pocono, where Blaney just shot out of a cannon the entire race.
yeah, he did it there. He did it at Iowa too. Iowa
That
was a
Iowa
really
race,
good.
that entire time during the Iowa race, I was just waiting for Blaney to have a Penske moment, and it never happened.
Yeah, especially that was like right after Gateway too. I was fully
Which Blaney should have won.
Right.
Blaney should have won the title.
Agreed.
And as well, you can argue if he did a little bit better on the defense, he could have won at
Atlanta,
Homestead.
right? As well as Homestead, yeah.
Yeah, Homestead.
And that brings us to
Oh boy.
Joey Logano.
Oh, is it?
We are proud to announce that Joey Logano has accumulated enough super license points for an FIA super license, so we'll see him in Formula One next year.
We are also proud to announce that Joey Logano is the champion for 2026 and 2028.
Yeah, it's
2030.
Yeah. He's never beating the even year allegations.
He is the even year merchant. He is the even year merchant.
I was waiting for it to happen.
We got to rant about the playoff system, though.
As soon as Bowman got disqualified at the Roval, you can pull the clip. Hamlin fan, it's on your channel somewhere, where I said Joey Logano is going to win the championship.
Yeah.
And we all knew
that it was coming. You knew it was coming.
I said as well in the Vegas video. Joey Logano was going to win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
I swear, I think he is the luckiest driver I've ever seen in NASCAR.
If you remember the Vegas video, I think I also said, I believe in the even year meme. Like, it's just too powerful.
Yeah.
Why couldn't De Benedetto be the even year merchant?
The odd year merchant, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, like Logano, I don't have anything against him for winning the title, but It's just a matter of hating the game and not the players.
Exactly. Joey Logano, with the system he was given, he won fair and square.
He has mastered this system as much as Jimmy Johnson and Chad Canals mastered the chase.
Oh, yeah.
At this point.
That's impressive enough, but at the same time, it just makes it to where, when you're a 15th place driver all season long and you win the championship, it's damning to the legitimacy.
Yeah.
Well,
Pendra,
I mean, we all know that Joey. I mean, yes, Austin Dillon got screwed over by that caution, but if Austin Dillon didn't do what he did, Joey also could have won Richmond as well.
Yeah.
It's frustrating the fact that we have a one race championship, which in motorsport, it does not work. The reason that the Super Bowl works is because you're not seeing the other 30 teams on the field.
Yeah, racing is way too chaotic for the championship to be decided on one race.
Especially with these guys.
The only way it works is if it happened naturally, right?
Yeah.
Like, and even then there can be controversy. Look at Abu Dhabi 2021. That happened naturally.
Yeah,
and, everyone was up in arms.
You're not going to have the 1992 Hooters 500 every year.
No. What you're going to get...
Some years, guys are just going to dominate. You can't help that,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2017 with Truex, with 2021 with Larson, it's just...
Mm-hmm.
It's inevitable.
But we have this system where people who dominate in some of those years don't win those titles. Like
Kevin Harvick.
They don't get rewarded.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, people saying that Elliott stole that championship. Yeah, he did, but he also got screwed over in 2022. So
yeah, and also you got to remember Elliott. You got to remember Elliott was really unlucky to not win like 7 or 8 races.
That is true.
In 2020.
You want to know something interesting? Is so Michael McDowell finished 15th with the points last year. Of course, part of that was due to making the chase.
Yep.
In the non-playoff standings, he finishes 15th anyway.
Yeah.
So Joey Logano this year was a
good year,
But I mean, yes, it's great for him. But Joey Logano, in his championship year, is as good as a really good driver in a front row car, and he's in a Penske car, right?
Yeah.
He wins the championship.
Yes.
What I'm saying is just bring back the 2004 chase thing. If NASCAR's saying they're keeping the playoffs in some resemblance, just keep the chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like that
would be more popular now than it was then.
Exactly.
I think so, because here's the thing, right? Hopefully, it induces a tighter championship battle. It's not guaranteed, right? There's a couple of those years where Jimmy just kind of ran away.
Right, but you can have a 2010 where Harvick and Hamlin are right there.
You can have a 2004 where it's decided at the final race, like,
Yeah.
But you're
2011
was decided by 1 point.
By a tiebreaker.
Yeah. No, by a tiebreaker, yeah.
And then
Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart had the exact same amount of points.
And then you're going to have the 2012s with Jimmy Johnson and Brad Keselowski going blow for blow, week by week, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there's so like, and even then, 2008, Jimmy ran away with it. Carl tried so hard. Carl was putting his heart and soul into beating Jimmy Johnson. Right. You're not going to. And Kyle Busch was the dominant driver that season. That was a season, and Greg Biffle was an outside shot at the championship, like 3 or 4 races in.
So you got these naturally exciting battles through the chase system.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need the playoffs.
You don't need these artificial storylines for the playoffs. You with the actual 10-race chase, start fresh. It's gloves off. It is going to be incredible. And
it makes a ton of sense. You take the top 10, or what's basically the top 10 guys all year, and you set them apart equal by 5 points to denote, their position coming in, and then you let them have at it.
Right. And if whoever's 6th wins it, so be it.
Well, they had the best final 10 races. It's not about stringing together like a decent 3 races and then winning 2 races in the next 6 and then being the best at the final race. You know?
If you're gonna have someone who finishes 5th every week, and then you're gonna have someone who wins one, crashes one, it's consistency is key.
There's so many ways you can manufacture good championship battle by just letting it happen naturally through the chase like that.
Yeah.
So why doesn't NASCAR just do that?
Because it's not close enough, I guess. It doesn't guarantee a championship race where there are multiple drivers at play, you know.
And look what's happened since the playoffs came in. NASCAR's TV ratings have plummeted. They've plateaued recently, but it's just NASCAR needs to get their heads out of their asses. They need to do that. But instead of complaining about the playoffs, let's get into our top 5 races of the year.
Yeah, so who wants to go first? Are we going like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or
what do we do? Like, I think we should do like like our number 5 and then our number 4, like collectively.
Yeah, that's
so I can go first. So my number 5, is probably, this was tough because I kind of ran out after 4, but I eventually settled on the Southern 500 just because it was a great battle at the end, and it's a great story all around for Chase Briscoe and the entirety of Stuart Haas.
That was Stuart Haas's swan song, which
absolutely.
I seeing how far that team fell, but having one last gasp of relevance on such a grand scale is something that legends are made of.
I mean, they literally went out winning a crown jewel, you know.
You can't go out much better than that, and to have such a good story around it with Chase Briscoe too. I mean, that it was a really.
I mean, have you ever seen Kyle Busch happier after finishing second? I don't think you have.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And seeing the way Kyle Busch has matured over the years, he would be radio sweetheart on Radioactive if this was 2015, 2016 Kyle Busch. But this is 2024 Kyle Busch, who has become an elder spokesman of the sport.
Yeah.
And just the amount of respect I've gained for Kyle Busch this season is beyond me. It is insane. Anybody else have any other number 5s? Because this was the Southern 500 was awesome.
I'm gonna say Chicago Xfinity. There was a good battle between Gibbs and Shane for the whole race, basically.
Oh yeah, that was incredible.
Oh yeah, that was Larson and SVG's battle where they traded blows back and forth like every lap for the first stage.
Oh yeah, that was incredible.
That was really awesome.
Matt, what's yours?
I was going to stick to Solely Cup. My number 5 was the second Talladega race.
That's a sleeper pick. I did not think about that one.
That was the race where you had like 30 consecutive laps of just nothing but 4 wide racing.
That was incredible. I will say it did seem kind of gridlocked at bits, but them just being 4 wide just was not good for my blood pressure. How about that?
Yeah, I know they were fuel saving and everything like that, but we got to realize that fuel saving has been a factor in super speedway racing for years now.
Absolutely.
It's just not shown up in the same way as it has in the next gen car. But
right, you're not going to have that.
If we're going to address fuel saving, can we address something in the Daytona 500? Right. I don't know if he had a tire down or they were trying some weird alternate strategy, but AJ pitted on like lap 8, right, by himself.
I was there. I think
AJ was like making faster laps.
Yeah, AJ was catching the field by himself because they were fuel saving so hard.
Yeah, like I was there. I was in the front row.
I mean, when else have we seen a field fuel save so hard that a single car at a super speedway can catch the field?
Oh yeah, it was incredible. My number 4 would have to be the Bristol Spring Race, which was honestly
that was mine too.
That was one of the funnest races I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'll say more on that in a minute.
Stage 1 especially was incredible.
Mine was Homestead. I think that was a good
I
race.
love Homestead.
Oh yeah, especially the Tyler Reddick turned it on at the exact correct moment.
Yeah.
For me,
Homestead. What? Pedro?
is a little bit biased, but I think it was the best road course race of the year, so I went for Sonoma.
That
Really?
was fun.
I think it was a fun race, and there was a little bit of drama, but not too much. There was a little bit of intrigue, so I thought it was interesting.
Oh, it absolutely
That
That
was.
was the one where Larson. That was the one where Larson just drove back up through the field and won the race
Mhm.
at the end. That was really fun to
Mhm.
watch.
That was incredible. I will say, wait, is that all our number 4s?
I think
Yeah.
My number 3, I'd have to give it to Atlanta Spring.
that's also my. No, I had that somewhere else. Sorry. Go ahead.
My number 3 is Homestead. We talked about Homestead already, but
My number 3 is also Atlanta.
That race was just
I
incredible.
mean, it's my number 2, so I agree.
Yeah. It was just wow. That you having the cars finish in real life. If you told 5-year-old me that happened in real life, I would have shat myself.
Not only that, but you know how Arca has the Reese's sweet move of the race.
Yeah.
As much as I dog on him, I want to give Austin Cindric the Reese's sweet move of the year for that 4 wide pass to the lead at Atlanta. That was absolutely nuts. He just decided, I'm doing this, and he did it.
That was the moment. That was the moment that I knew. Yeah, we're watching a classic race here.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he did it. He pulled it on. It was no wreck. He made it.
Austin Cindric says, pick a god and pray to it, because I'm coming.
Yeah, that's what he said. I ain't lifting until I see God or the checkered flag, is what he said right there.
That was incredible. So, that was our number 3s. Any other number 3s?
My number 3 was Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah, I forgot to put that on my
number
list.
2.
So yeah, we basically all have the same race as our 3 or 2, I guess.
No, I had
4.
I had Bristol Spring as mine.
Okay.
That was awesome.
And number 2 for me was Kansas.
Kansas, just Kansas. That video is actually up on my channel of our reactions to that. That was
and the pre-race too, where we were doing.
That's unlisted.
Oh yeah.
What was
that was really fun though. Doing putt party.
CFR losing his absolute mind over putt party.
Yeah.
It also spawned a server emote in the Twisted Toe or sticker. Yeah. We took the finish. Oh man.
I always remember that and the Michigan rain delay too, where we were watching the BeamNG crashes and had Big Rock playing over it, pitch race. Remember that?
Yeah. Man, Kansas again, great racing, and it shows that this package can work on mile and a half. Like,
just go back to the Gen 6
perfect
on
racetrack
short
right now, though.
Go back to Gen 6 on short tracks, and keep the Gen 7 for the mile and a half.
Like this is almost like that early Gen 6 era mile and a half. Like
the high horsepower.
Like 2014 first half of 2015.
Shout out to Chris Buescher for that 5-wide pass as well.
Oh yeah.
Yes, a 5-wide pass.
We were talking so much about Austin Cindric's 4-wide pass, and then Buescher comes along and
I feel like Austin Cindric's pass is a little bit more incredible because it was narrower.
Pass is way more ballsy. And
because the track was so much narrower. I mean, the gap was closing in on Buescher, but the track is so much wider where he made that move.
No, but Cindric just swinging. It's like, oh boy, we're gonna die.
Because you have to consider the track is like 10, maybe 11, 12 cars wide where Buescher made his move, and where Cindric made his move, it's like 4.5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that brings us to our number 1 slots. Do you want to go alphabetically again?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's Dega 2. I think the racing product in Dega 2 was way better than Dega 1 and way better than we've seen at Dega.
Especially with this new car. That's
Yeah.
the magnum opus of speedway racing in this car.
I think mine was Atlanta. I'd say Atlanta for number one for me.
Loved Atlanta
because it was an awesome race all the way around, and then to top it off with the cars finish. I mean that's one that you'll see years from now on the Fox Classic races during the off season.
Oh yeah, MRN Classic.
Same goes for Kansas too, honestly.
And
I forgot to mention my sorry, Penray. Before you get to that, my number 2 was Bristol 1.
Oh yeah,
I just like the chaos.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say with that. So my number 1 was also Bristol 1, and I to sum it up in one sentence, it's Bowman the best. Yeah, Bowman left the field. It's the best worst race I've ever seen. Like that was something that maybe I'd like to see like maybe one more time, but it was incredible watching in real time. Just
so bad,
the tire disintegration, the chunking, and yes, like the buildup where everyone's brakes are on fire, and Bon Jovi is just yelling more and more, and I'm counting down the number of cars on the lead lap, right? And then Keselowski drops. Right? Keselowski drops behind Bowman and behind the next guy one lap down. And there's a moment where Bowman is the only car on the lead lap.
Bowman left the
field! That's my favorite moment all year. That was just absolutely incredible.
It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. Actually, the second greatest, because my favorite race of the season had to have been Homestead. Holy moly, that battle at the end.
I get that.
Even with Larson shitting himself, the rest of it just holy.
I think it's safe to say that Homestead is back. It's been dormant for a couple years, but it's back.
Homestead back to the championship race, I swear.
Yeah.
Knowing NASCAR though, they'll instead drop Homestead entirely.
Yeah.
If they do that,
they'll make it New Hampshire.
Yeah. Christopher Bell wins the championship, guys.
That would be even worse than keeping the playoff format the way it is right now.
Yeah. All right. So
we're gonna be.
Yeah, we're moving the championship to Sonoma, guys.
You guys like road courses, right?
So we're gonna have to start wrapping it up a little bit, but we're gonna have to also talk about the worst races of the year. Anybody have any candidates for that?
The spring Martinsville race was so boring that I forgot to wake up.
Spring Bristol. No,
I was going to say that about Coda, honestly.
I'm gonna say that to the second Bristol race. I wish I slept through that.
But I think the worst race, even though I've been sticking strictly Cup, is actually an Xfinity race. I think that Xfinity Watkins Glen, the end in particular, was shameful. Like that was
like Nashville all over again.
That was like the Truck Series Championship last year, where everybody but Connor Zilic and Sheldon Creed forgot how to drive.
Yeah.
You guys are professional race car drivers, right?
Yeah.
But you're driving like a bunch of teenagers playing go-karts, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, but Pedro, I feel like we did a better job in go-karts than those fellas did.
Yeah, we did, especially since both of our cars were broken.
So
his wouldn't turn and mine wouldn't go.
Craven got him! We do have to talk about the Dover race. Well, actually, no, there was nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Actually, there is one thing. The only notable thing about the Dover race is that Daniel Hemrick got a top 10 on pace. It's like the most notable thing about the Dover race.
That was like the most randomly good run of the season.
Yeah.
That and Zane Smith.
I'm just gonna finish top 10 for no reason.
Oh yeah, Zane Smith getting second at Nashville because
that
everyone else
Nashville race was such a shit show.
I will admit, though, it was kind of funny to watch.
Oh yeah.
It was just hilarious.
Looking back, everyone's like, okay, Logano got just one win of the season. It's even year meme's dead. It's an off year.
Yeah.
He won the All-Star race, but.
But
honorable mention goes to. No, keep going.
Carry on.
No, I was gonna say an honorable mention for the worst race goes to Arca Bristol. I was looking forward to it the whole year. I was like, yes, sir, 4 races in a weekend, and then everyone kept wrecking. There was at least a good finish between Sawalich and Lewis, but everyone kept wrecking, and everyone kept wrecking.
Were there any ARCA breaks moments that stood out this year? Because I have never watched an ARCA race this season.
I only watched a couple of ARCA races. I don't think there were any.
I forgot if there was one. I think Silic had a big one in. Oh wait, there was one in Salem. There was an ARCA breaks in Salem. Where Greg Van Oss and a couple other guys went out the field and the leaders just plowed into the pack.
But wasn't that when Corey Day made his debut?
Yeah, Corey Day. He was Corey Day.
He's doing trucks now.
I mean, yeah. I think you can reasonably also say that Sean Garani winning another title is kind of an ARCA breaks moment.
I think the guy has potential. Barring intent wrecking, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh, that's a video. That's a video I should upload. I have the reactions to that. That's something I should upload in the off season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We also do have to talk about Phoenix Spring. I don't remember a single thing happening that race other than
I also missed that one.
I actually slept through it.
Yeah, so did I.
The only thing I remember about that race was when Denny Hamlin spun out and basically handed Christopher Bell the win.
Yeah.
That was
the only thing, though. It was kind of boring besides that.
Speaking of people named Bell, I think we need to talk about something else that is now part of the Twisted Toe family, and that's tow car.
I need to get into tow car. I've only watched 1 or 2 races in the VC, but I need to get into it this next season.
The only one that I've watched like in full was the one where you had the sport ender at Kansas. That was the only one.
I missed out on the trash races this season, most of them, but I've been catching up, and yeah, it's been fun.
Christopher Bell, that moment.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, like I'm like, he's dead. You're laughing, and he's dead.
He died, and you're laughing.
Oh,
you're
man.
laughing. He just died, and you're laughing.
That's what I said. I still can't.
There was someone made. There was one track where it was like 4 miles long. Phil Menard died.
Oh, Pyongyang.
Yeah. The North Korea race was the funniest thing.
We also had, I believe, the 8 and then the 92 in the same race die in the same way.
Yeah.
I really need to start watching tow car more often.
Yeah. So
it just seems like it's a riot.
So we are pushing our time limit, so we do have to start wrapping this up. I did want to thank each and every one of you for coming on. It was a glorious time, and you guys have any closing thoughts?
Shout out to Paul Wolf.
Shout out to Paul Wolf. He did. He's going to be first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just hope that next year we get a deserving champion and a little bit less chaos. And preferably more Chase Elliott wins.
That'd be nice. I would love that.
Death to NASCAR, glory to front row motorsports.
Hell yeah.
And 2311.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Best wishes to 2311 and front row on the lawsuit.
Yeah, and if Denny Hamlin wants me to come on his podcast, you know where to find me. All right, that brings an end to today's video. Just wanted to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in, and we'll try to make this a more common thing. What do you guys say?
No,
I'd love it.
We make our
I
own
would say-
NWP, but make it cooler.
Make it cooler. We don't steal things from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that brings an end to today's video. Again, thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Go Chase Elliott.